French artist Henri Matisse was born on December 31st, 1869 and lived to 84. He was an influential artist in three movements in art history: Fauvism, which means wild beast; Modernism, which is strong colors; and Post-Impressionism, which is a reaction to artists like Monet, and he in turn created a more abstract quality or symbolic content. In Matisse's early years, he was fascinated with the goldfish. Matisse had said, "What of this goldfish would you wish?" According to a tale, goldfish have a magic ability to make 3 wishes of ours come true. Is it really this mysterious quality that made Matisse obsessively paint goldfish over and over and over again? Goldfish were introduced to Europe from East Asia in the 17th century, while in the US it wasn't until around 1850 where they quickly became popular. Because of their metallic scales, they symbolized good luck and good fortune and became a tradition for married men to give their wives a goldfish on their wedding anniversary as a promise for a prosperous future. It is likely that Matisse became obsessed with goldfish following his trip to Tangier, Morocco, where he observed Moroccans in a slow and mindful lifestyle. He often portrayed them daydreaming or meditating while looking into a fishbowl. He thought of it as an art of balance, of purity, serenity, and with no troubles or depressing subject matter, just something that's soothing on the armchair for relaxation. Let's take a close look at this painting by Matisse. What do you see, and how does it make you feel? Let's make our own fishbowl in the style of collage. Collage is French for painting with paper. So to make the fishbowl, let's start with an oval. Okay, now on both sides of that oval, we're going to go straight down. And then we're going to make a bigger oval in the middle. And that will be the bottom of your fishbowl. Okay? Once you've got that, then we can trace it. Use a Sharpie, use a black marker, whichever you prefer. I prefer a Sharpie, because if I use materials that smear, I don't want the marker to smear. There's my curve. And then in here, I don't want to make a full line, just kind of like a dash. There you have it. So now I want to draw the water. So let's imagine the water is filled about 3/4 of the way up. So I'm going to take an oval and I'm going to draw it down here. A little bit deeper than the top one and a little bit shallower than the bottom. Okay? Now I'm going to look at the art of Henri Matisse, and I'll notice that he used yellows in the top part of his water. It's reflecting the light. I'm going to use a little bit of yellow in that space. I'm not using Sharpie. Okay? And then below here, it looks like he used some green. I'm not filling the whole thing in. I'm using the side of the nib. I press and let it kind of go in. So I'm going to actually attempt a blend with the yellow. And go back this way. And you can see a little bit of a yellow blend. My yellow's running low. There we go. I'll have to clean this after because I have green on it. Keep going and blending. Now in this space here, I'm going to use blues. Same thing. I'm going to start on the edge, and then I'm going to pull it in, just like that. I'm going to go from the other side This is our first attempt at blending with markers, but you have to work quickly because when the marker sets and dries, it's very difficult to get the colors to blend. Okay, down, do it again. All right, so now I am ready to create my fish. After looking at this, I realized that I don't care for it as much as if I would trace it, just part of it, with the black Sharpie. Kind of like what I did on the bottom. Yeah, that makes me happy. Okay, now I'm going to cut this out. And I'm going to layer my design in a collage. A collage is a work of art where we basically paint with paper. Matisse became a master at collage later in life. Where my fish are going to be. So I'm going to have to make fish and glue them on. Put this in a safe place so you can build your table and your background. Alright, so I'm going to take my fish bowl and I'm going to put it aside. Now I want to use different types of scrap paper that you can find around the house. This was old wallpaper that I happen to have. I have some paper that have two-sided colors. I have wrapping paper. You can use any of these. You can just take colored paper, construction paper, and we can use it to make our table and a wall. So I actually really like this, and it kind of breaks it up for me. So if this were the wall, the fish bowl can go there. So that could work nicely. I have to figure out what I want to use for the bottom. So I'm going to take this little guy, move it over. I'm going to glue this down, and you can cut it out from the back. All right, so I'm going to go up to here. So I just put a little bit of glue. Get the boogies. There we go. Glue line, just so I can see where it goes. Perfect. And nice and straight. Make sure it fits on the top. And I can take this, and I can just put glue in the background like that. Make sure it's straight. That way it's easier to cut later. Okay. I can either use the paper cutter or I can turn it over. And then I can cut on this excess edge. Just don't cut your white paper because you need it. If you have a paper cutter, have your family help you. Okay? Save your scraps for a future project. I always keep a bin with different types of cut paper. Alright, this looks cool. I like that. It's starting to remind me of a Matisse. Now, what am I going to do for my tablecloth? I have wrapping paper, this paper. Oh, I like the brown. The browns kind of match nicely. So this is bigger than what I need. So let's move this over. Let's see how much I need. So it'll be that much. Well, you know what? Let's do the same way, same technique. So put the glue on the bottom, and the paper is bigger than that, then it makes it easier. You never want to glue the middle of the paper. Never use the middle. You start from the corner. Okay? So if I start from the corner, I can line it up just like that. Okay. Love it. A little plain, but I think I'm going to add a pattern to it. So this line and this line lines up nicely. You flip your paper over. As long as it sets, give it a minute before you peel it off. All right, and then you just cut along your background paper, the white paper. Okay, cut the other side. Careful, don't cut yourself. Done that plenty of times. And save this for something else. There. Okay, it's getting there. Now, if you look back at the painting, Henri Matisse's Goldfish painting in 1912, you'll see that there's leaves and different things, and it's on a table, but we're going to change it around a little bit. But I thought it would be fun if I made a tablecloth out of materials that I have. I think I'm going to use that baby wrapping paper I had laying around. I like this, and I love the letters. I'm just going to cut a scrap of it. Oh, I like this one. It says welcome. Hope I don't need baby wrapping paper anytime soon. Now, let's put this away. A little bit aside. I'm thinking about doing circles. So let me find something to trace circles. All right, so my thought process was to make a pattern on this brown because the table's kind of boring. So I found this wrapping paper. Now if I take this wrapping paper and I fold it a couple of times, I liked the welcome. So if I use a circle and I trace a circle, I found a cup that has two sides. Now if I cut this out, keeping it closed like a sandwich, I'll get a few of them to glue down. And they should match in size. They're not going to match in pattern because they're different. So if you have birthday wrapping paper, any holiday paper can be fun, or newspaper. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's awesome. Perfect. Fills the space nicely. So I'm going to glue them down, and we'll see where we go. So in the process of creating this, I realized that the two circles were going to be covered, so I took them off while they're still wet before they set, and I cut it in half, right down the middle, and I added an extension to my pattern going off the edge of the paper. Now I have an extra one. This can go right in that spot. That'll work perfectly. All right, so now that I have that, I'm gonna go look for some green paper because I want to make the leaves that you see in the painting. All right, I found some green paper. Of course, you can make yours however you like. You don't have to copy mine exactly. I am just gonna cut a piece because I don't want to waste. I save everything. All right, if I make a leaf shape, I'm gonna make a couple of them the same size. So I fold it in half, fold it again, and they'll be the same size. So if I made a leafy fern, I'm looking at my computer screen right now to see the painting by Matisse. And I have a light green and dark green with this paper. It's kind of fun. But this is going to go behind. It's as if the plant is sitting on the table behind it. How would I arrange that? That works. Oh, I love it. All right, that's where I'm going with this. So I put a little bit of glue, tuck it behind. Oh, I like it higher up like that. I can use my scraps to add a stem if I needed to. So rearrange it the way you like it. That's so much better. Yeah, I like the shape. It's almost like a heart. And this one here. So there's a plant behind my fishbowl. And I'm ready to glue this back. And there you have it. I love doing collages. Now to make my goldfish. Let's do this. All right, to make our goldfish, I want to make sure it fits inside the container. So if you put the orange paper or whatever color paper you want to use for your fish, see how wide you can make it. Can't make it any wider than that, so kind of sketch the space. And let's cut that out. That way I know exactly how big I can make it. now's your chance to go find a photograph or something that will help you to create your fish. All right, so I'm going to think about a fish body as an oval and a nice wavy tail, and the fins on the top and the fins on the bottom, and that'll fit. This is going to be back. That's the dirty side. Whenever you draw on construction paper during a collage project, this will become the dirty side. Okay. Once I cut it out, then flip it over. Save your scraps, maybe you can use it for something else. And there's my fish. Now before I do any gluing, I like to add an eye. And there's my fin. Gills. I know I said fin. That's not what I meant. Okay. And there's my goldfish. There. So I kept the scraps. And when you look at the Matisse painting, you'll notice that he does create another view of the fish. So if you use a piece of scrap, just think about the size of your fish, and it looks like you're looking down as well. So if you do two fish, one's going to be overlapping the other, and then you have to just consider two of these as well. So there's my fish.